On a chilly autumn evening in a quiet American town, the streets buzzed softly with the hum of cars and the distant chatter of people heading home. Near the corner of an old brick building, a 14-year-old boy named Ethan sat on a worn-out milk crate, holding a weathered guitar that had clearly seen better days. The guitar's body was scratched and chipped, the strings slightly frayed, yet the sound it produced was surprisingly rich and soulful. Ethan's fingers trembled as he strummed, partly from the cold air nipping at his hands, partly from the nervousness that always came before he started to sing. As he played the opening chords of Hotel California, his voice rose, clear and haunting, carrying a depth of feeling far beyond his years. Passers-by slowed their steps, drawn by something in his tone, a mixture of longing and quiet resilience. A young couple paused with their coffee cups, an older man tipped his hat as he lingered to listen. No one knew Ethan's story, but they could sense the weight behind his music. Beside him, a small cardboard sign rested against the crate, written in uneven black marker, "Saving to buy a bus ticket, to chase my dream." The words were simple, almost childlike, yet they carried a powerful plea. The streetlights flickered on as dusk settled, casting a gentle glow over the boy with the old guitar. For that brief moment, the busy world slowed down, captivated by a street corner melody that carried hope. Claire had walked that route home from work countless times, usually with her mind buried in deadlines and grocery lists. But that evening, something about the boy on the street corner made her slow her steps. She noticed his thin jacket, his tattered sneakers, and the way he cradled the guitar as if it were the only thing keeping him steady. The cardboard sign at his feet caught her eye, "Saving to buy a bus ticket, to chase my dream." The words lingered in her mind, tugging at something deep inside her. Instead of simply dropping a few coins into the small tin by his side, Claire crouched down and gently asked, "What's your dream?" Ethan hesitated, his eyes fixed on the guitar strings as if searching for courage there. Finally, in a soft voice, he explained that he had lost his father the previous year. His mother worked double shifts just to keep the lights on, and there was no way they could afford the trip to the city where auditions for a big talent show were being held. Claire listened quietly, her heart tightening as she saw the mixture of hope and sadness in the boy's eyes. He wasn't asking for much, just a chance. She smiled, though her throat felt heavy with emotion, and said, "Sometimes, dreams just need a little help." As she walked away that night, the sound of his voice stayed with her, carrying a depth that felt too profound to be left unheard. Something inside her had already decided she couldn't just pass by again. The next morning, the street corner looked the same. The cracked pavement, the flickering streetlight, but for Ethan, everything was about to change. As he sat tuning his guitar, expecting another long day of playing for loose change, he saw Claire walking toward him. She wasn't just passing by this time. Draped over her arm was a warm, puffy jacket, and in her hand, a small paper bag. "Good morning, Ethan," she said with a gentle smile, handing him the bag. Inside was a packed lunch and a bottle of water. Then she held out an envelope. Ethan looked at it, confused, before carefully opening it to find a brand new bus ticket tucked inside. His eyes widened, and for a moment, he couldn't speak. "I told you," Claire said softly, "sometimes all a dream needs is a little push." Ethan's voice wavered as he whispered a shaky "thank you," his hands clutching the ticket as if it might disappear. That afternoon, wearing the new jacket and carrying his old guitar, he boarded the bus for the city. As the bus pulled away, Ethan sat by the window, staring at the passing fields and towns, his heart thudding with a mix of fear and excitement. He thought of his father and the nights he'd practiced this very song in their small living room. He thought of Claire's kindness and the chance she had given him. For the first time in a long while, he felt his dream might be within reach. The stage lights were blinding as Ethan stepped forward, his old guitar slung over his shoulder. The vast studio felt overwhelming, rows of seats packed with an expectant audience, judges sitting behind a long desk, cameras capturing every nervous breath. For a moment, his palms felt slick, his heart pounding so loud he wondered if the microphone could pick it up. Then he remembered Claire's words, sometimes all a dream needs is a little push. Taking a steadying breath, he strummed the opening chords of Hotel California. The familiar notes rang out, soft and haunting, filling the vast space. The chatter in the audience faded into silence as his voice joined the melody. It wasn't just a song, it was a story, of loss, hope, and the long road he traveled to stand there. His raw emotion carried through each line, as if he were singing to his father, to the cold street corner, to the kindness that brought him here. One of the judges, known for being hard to impress, leaned forward, eyes glistening. By the time Ethan reached the final chorus, the entire room was hushed, caught up in the depth of his performance. Then, with a sudden burst of sound, a judge slammed the golden buzzer. A shower of golden confetti cascaded from above, sparkling under the lights. Ethan froze in disbelief, his hands still on the strings. Slowly, he sank to his knees, tears slipping down his face, overwhelmed by the moment that turned his dream into reality. Backstage, Ethan stood in a quiet corner, clutching his guitar as golden confetti still clung to his jacket. His eyes were red from tears, but there was a soft, almost disbelieving smile on his face. The host approached him, microphone in hand, and asked gently, "What does this moment mean to you?" Ethan looked down for a second, then up at the cameras, his voice trembling but clear. "It means, kindness can change everything," he said. "A stranger believed in me when I almost gave up. I wouldn't be here without her." Those words, simple and sincere, struck a chord with everyone watching. In the audience, people wiped away tears. At home, millions of viewers felt a spark of hope as they saw a boy's dream come alive not just because of talent, but because of compassion. That night, Ethan's performance went viral. News outlets replayed the clip of his soulful rendition of Hotel California and the golden confetti falling as he knelt in tears. Even more powerful than the performance was his heartfelt message about kindness. In a modest living room miles away, Claire sat on her couch, watching the broadcast. Her eyes glistened as she heard Ethan mention her. She didn't need recognition, knowing that her small gesture had helped change his life was enough. As the world celebrated Ethan's triumph, his story reminded millions that sometimes, the most extraordinary transformations begin with a single act of generosity, and that kindness has the power to ignite dreams.